Alright. Alright. I go online late and I start early. That's me, baby! So without further ado, let us do the thing. Do the thing where what I ruin my voice. For the entertainment. For the internet. So here we go, chat. We're going off to deliver us some souls. Oh wait, hold up. Hold that thought. I need some of this, you know, just in case. Nervous sweating. Hello, I have 4 more souls, Mr. Goat. The goat snorts with delight at your approach. Wonderful, you've returned with more souls. These were even more troublesome than the last. I will be glad to be rid of them. If you would be so kind, bring them to the shrine. Then we will be one step closer to concluding our business together. The clanging of the ram's bronze bell rings out in your ears, many voices chanting in unison, grabbing hands, trampling feet. The machinations of the cat unfold before you as her boots burn away before the shrine, pieces moving on a game board, cheats, laughter, lies. Sensations of the rat fill your mind, tiny feet scratching at crumbling walls, digging cold earth, snapping brittle bones, talking, stealing, hiding. You hold your breath as the salty feeling of the fish washes over you, the sound of creaking wood, jagged barnacles, crashing waves, fading light, betrayal. Your shoulders straighten as if a great weight is lifted off them. The maiden stirs in her sleep, troubled by fitful dreams. Only 4 more souls left until our contract is fulfilled. But I expect it has been a tiring day. Come, you should get some sleep. Yes, I could rest. Wake up! Why don't you put on a little bit of makeup? 4 more souls, chat. 4 more souls. You step out into the morning mist and accidentally swallow a bit of spit. I'm okay. And find the goat with a mouthful of grass. Terrible tasting stuff. I don't understand this creature's appetite. With luck, you won't have to suffer the mortal whims of a farm animal much longer. After I collect the last soul, you can go back to the void from whence you came. Ah, the void can wait. You're much better company anyway. But you are correct. There is only 1 leg left to our journey. Actually, there could be many legs. Physically. The final 4 souls have revealed themselves to me. Where are they this time? 3 linger in spaces you have already tread. The village, the market, and the fields. And the 4th resides far to the north on the cold slopes of the mountain. I will track them down no matter where they try to hide. Marvelous. The hogs, the stag, the hawk, and the wolf. Wait. Let's get these. Never know if you'll need Schickerweins. Well, we know the vague vicinity of the hogs. So that's the easy part. We just go up. Now is a good time for up. Hi, cats. Big meow. That was a very good one. Hello, cow. Hey, hogs. Workers only scram. But, about that? Question mark? What do I, so we're weary with newfound hope. What am I mean, I saw him, but I'm in the market. The hog's in the market. Is there... If I want to find... well, there's a beggar here. Clinging to a raggedy shawl, the old panhandler holds a tin cup with trembling hands. Alms for the poor! Yeah. You bow your head respectfully to the aged fellow, dropping a coin into his cup. From under his ratty hood, the man gleams, a silver-toothed grin at you. Thank you, kind miss! A penny for your thoughts, old-timer. I'm afraid my thoughts are a little muddy as of late. Can't seem to recall what day it is, or the last time I ate was. Last I remember, I was working at the old hog farm with other unfortunates. Not quite sure how I ended up back here on the streets. I've had more than a few memories abandon me as well. I must have left a few of my things behind at the farm, misplaced my boot, and, well, I can't remember what else. I don't suppose you'd do me a kindness of taking a look around the place for me. I'm not as spry as I used to be. At the hog farm, you say? I guess it wouldn't hurt to take a peek. Maybe they have a lost and found. Bless your heart. I do remember that you'll need permission to get through the gates. Those hog sisters run a tight ship. You'll have to go talk to the big hog who runs the butcher shop here in the market. She'll set you up with a work slip. Dun 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 dun. At the chopping block. Hola. This can't be. An exhausted peasant farmer. This can't be. No, the largest of the notorious three pigs. Chopping through a hock of meat with a gigantic cleaver, the surly-looking swine merely grunts at you when you approach. Excuse me, I heard that you were the one to talk to about getting a work slip? No, not what you heard where you heard wrong. We got enough good-for-nothing workers. Now buzz off. You glance at the halo of flies buzzing around the pig's scalp. Listen, there must be some way to get a slip. Babe, I'm running low on ingredients to make the summer sausage. And none of these nincompoops can hold two thoughts in their heads. Tell you what, you give me the things I need. I'll give you your precious work slip. Roast beast, another egg, and some skipper scales. Sure. What did I need for the skipper scales? Well, can I make the roast beast? Question 1 of the day. Roast the beast. Requires the witches, but I can do that. So, boom. Roast the beast. So now I just need egg and the skipper scales. I don't recall if there are eggs in the market. I don't think... I don't think there are. So I'm going to go off, and I'm going to go... I do not like that there are scales in the sausage. It's fine, Chad. I'm sure it's fine. They're perfectly edible scales. Probably. We go up here. We goose some chickens. Alright, now I need to go remember what the heck I needed for... Was the crab trap? I vaguely recall it being the crab trap. hopefully I only need the one. Otherwise I may have to go antagonize some mosquitoes. And I don't want to antagonize the mosquitoes. Could be worse. Could have asked for bug bits. Nope. Boy, you! It is crap trap. There you go. Get in there. And give me multiple scales. Thank you! Ah! Or frog slime? Tasty, delicious frog slime. Those would oddly make more sense. Well, you know. Sausage! Roast the beast. You plop the sweet-smelling hawk down onto a relatively clean section of countertop. Egg. You push a basket of eggs toward the hog. She holds one each up to a candle flame and oinks in apparent satisfaction. Your fishy catch still flops about, gasping for water. I beg your pardon. But the hog puts a stop to that with her hefty cleaver. Oh. Get up and mark and go northeast and give this to my sister Kate. Smell hot dung ought to guide you to the spot. I can hardly contain myself. Well, go contain yourself in the hog farm before I lose my temper. She slaps a work slip down on the table. Yikes. Yikes. I'm yikesing my way out the front door. I do not like these hogs. I do not like them. No. Oh. Guard's gone. So in we go. Oh. Hi. Tall pig. Hello there, no one gets into the hog farm without a work slip. And if you want to work for us, you gotta fit the demographic. And what demographic is that? The kind that don't ask so many stupid questions. Ain't got a work slip or not? Yeah. You hand over the slip of paper and the hog squints at it with little piggy eyes. You don't look like you can lift a wheelbarrow, let alone last a good day's work. You're nothing but skin and bones. I've got the work slip, don't I? So let me in. Fine, fine. Snow bag it off my back if you find yourself face down in the mud after your old heart gives out. Thanks. Pig loves filth, doesn't care who knows it. See, there's a pig farm for the beggar's belonging. Exhausted peasant. Right. Clay. I'm unsurprised. Whoa. Gassy pig. Oh no. What? Alright, what's it take to make the... Goblin snot? I don't have goblin snot. Well, we're gonna have to go to the forest and get some goblin snot. Because... Squabbling workers. This gaggle of workers appears to be squabbling over something. In the office! Man, has you already got those good leg wraps while I'm still going barefoot. Give it here. You see the object of their contention, a dirty old boot. Ah, that must be my friend's forgotten piece of footwear. The workers ignore you and continue fighting over their pathetic prize. Growth potion and elf shoes. Okay, well. Okay. Gonna need a third shiny lure, and then what goes into a growth potion? Where even is the growth potion? I'm blind. Help. I don't... Is it over here, or is it... There it is. So I need the this, which is dragonfly wing. Alright. And dragonflies were baited with the bait stick. Alright. Well. I think we use the Dreadful Doll. Yeah, useful against goblins and bandits. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Might as well just pop this to pop on. Wonder if pork rind. Wow. I'm wowing in your general direction. Okay. Well, we pop into the swamp. Slap down a bait stick. Get some dragonfly wings. Cry a little bit. One small cry. Boop. Alright. Bump, ba-da, bump, but don't go back to the forest. Where we need at least 2 fireflies and some goblin snot. Because, of course. Might as well get the frog, since I'm just out here gathering oodles of caboodles. And then I think upper part of the map's going to have the most concentration of goblins, because I might as well multi-goblin, right? Oh, wait, hold that thought. Get us some fire biddies. Hi, dog. Don't bite me, dog. Don't do it. I see you coming for me. Stop it! Cease! Yep, there's you boys and your spookiness. But I think right... What's up? To the mountain? I should probably go check the mountain out while I'm here. Yeah, that's right. Get spooky. Get spooked on. Alright, we got 3 snots. Good stuff. Alright. Let's see if we can't at least open up the portal in the mountains. Because I'm gonna need it for later. The fuck is this? The fuck are you? Iceberry. Ice butter. Chilled mushroom. Alright. Whoa. Snow snare? Not aggressive, but touching it will give you a bad case of frostbite. Snow snare. Easily done. There you go. Frostling, also a snow snare. Oh. Okay, these are considered mutes. Interesting. It's a newt. Alright, Redbird, go for it. I need more berries, though. If I want to try and get one of the snow boys. Come on. Thank you. Hopefully I just need the one. What's going on up here? Hey, Buck. Stay back, spirits! I have nothing you want. Keep your wits about you, boy. I'm just an old woman. Oh, so you are. My apologies. One can never be too careful traveling about the mountainside. Plenty of tricksters like to disguise themselves and play pranks on me. I meant no disrespect. None taken. What are you doing out in the cold anyway? I've come to collect ice berries for my brother's coronation. He's going to be crowned king of the whole realm today. King? According to whom? According to him, I suppose. He is the eldest after all. He says it's his destiny. Some days. I'm not so sure, though. I feel like I should be doing more than just tending to the castle's gardens. The boy is gone! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's probably on the hunt for snackums. So he gets to be king, and you get to pick berries till your fingers fella. It's not so bad. I like the crisp air and the fresh snow. There's something magical about the wilderness. Ah, but listen to me prattle on. I still need to collect the ice berries my brother requested. He's very particular when it comes to, well, anything really. A job shared is done twice as quickly. Let me help you before the frost bites. Why, thank you. I am getting a bit chilly. I only need a few more ice berries. Is that fucking silver fox? Frozen tree? Frozen tree. Yeah, says the Beake. A rabbit? A rabbit, you say? Sure. We can, try catching a rabbit. A rabbit! Thank you, rabbit. Okay, I got a rabbit foot. Well, bad wolfie. Wolf fox. I'm soft and squishy and prone to exploding. Don't touch me. I'm also filthy. You don't want it. You don't want none of this, Grandma. This Grandma will fuck you up. Ah! Okay, I'm fine. Nothing bad happened. Okay, to make this... Yeah. There you go, little guy. Get got. Become a snow whatever. You a snow whatever? Frostling snow. Delightful. Which lets me make exactly one frozen treat. Da-da-da-da. Doggo! That's right. Doggo! Doggo, you a bitch. Come here. Snippity snippity! Alright. Silver fox fur, get. What's this? A snow bomb. Got a little bit of everything on here, huh? But the bigger question is... Where's the teleporty bit? If I was a suspicious teleporty bit, where would I hide? There's a fox hidden there. Don't allow that. Don't allow that at all, nope. Also, might as well just get all the snowberries since this guy wants all of the snowberries that exist in the kingdom. Every last one of them. Wait. Spicy pepper. Alright, well. That's that. Wait. Igloo? Trapper camp. Up on the slopes of the mountain, you spot a camp of dangerous-looking fur trappers sharpening their spears. No need to bother them just yet. Well... Fuck. Okay. Snowmans! Here we go. No less crudely constructed than the other snowmen surrounding it, something is nevertheless off about this one in particular. Whether it's the too many limbs, the stitched mouth, or the trio of antlers, it irresistibly beckons your touch. And as soon as your fingertips touch its cold surface, it falls completely to pieces. Good. Excellent. Alright. So now we need... What was it? Elf shoes? Elf shoes, growth potion. Growth potion was the thing I was forgetting. Which requires that, which requires this, which I can do. Okay. One growth potion, get. Now, we need to go back into town and start stealing shoes, chat. You know, like sane people. Where are the elves at? Elf! I need you. More importantly, I need your shoes. One. Elves? Are there more elves in just the town? Elf? Come back. I need you. Elf? Wow, he like fucking booked it. Where the Oh, I can't put it up there. There's a bandito up there. Oh. Did you go the long way around like a psycho? Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Alright. One more elf? I don't... Is it too much to ask for there to be an elf down here, in this corner? Aha! Ask and ye shall receive. Excellent. I escape. There's still the matter of that golden egg that the angry goose is guarding. I'm not sure what's going on there. Has some Don't Starve vibes. It's kind of similar in the art style. The workers ignore you and continue fighting over their pathetic prize. Shoes. You put down the minuscule slippers. These won't be big enough for anybody. That's why we have the growth potion, which apparently works on not plants. You sprinkle a couple of carefully measured drops of growth potion onto the tiny shoes. They make a sound like popcorn and burst into a size much more accommodating to human feet. The bickering workers look over at the source of all the noise and their eyes go wide. Hey, look! Are those new shoes? Dropping the old boot in the mud, they rush over to try on the new footwear. Check it out! They got jangly bells on the toes! Nice. I take the old shoe. Okay. Oh, don't tell me the frickin' gases. Slop trough needs purification water. Hard to say whether there's more mud or half-eaten food in here. Yikes. Yikes. What was needed for purification water? Oh no. Ectoplasm. Oh, I knew I was going to need more of those. Oh, alright. Well, the ectoplasm was from... I think we can get some from the Weeping Spectres? Maybe? The heads give us heads. Okay. And we're going to need another thing of water. Which luckily, I thought ahead. Might as well get 4 things of water then. Oh, and then we needed the digestion tablets probably, which we can do. Ecto was from the Horn Ghost? Fuck! Which means we're going to need a Batwing. And the Batwing would be from the stick, which record. Okay, well. Amir, you gaseous, awful creature. What is going on with... Not the pickiest eater, the sickly swine eagerly gobbles up the antacid you offer it. You hear a bubbling sound coming from the pig's stomach, and decide it's best to avert your eyes from the horrors of the natural process. When you look back, the pig has fallen asleep in the mud, looking much happier with its state of being. You turn your attention to the aftermath and gawk at the obvious cost of the beast's indigestion. A large bone sticks out of the filth. Questionable bone. Well, apparently it belongs to our beggar. Unfortunately, there's the everything else. Okay. We go to the swamp. We get some pricklies. Do we have a prickly nearby? No, because that'd be too easy. Pricklies? Pricklies over here. Pick up these two pricklies. We flee everything. Chad knows the ingredients better than you? Baited stick. Bait stick, go here. Pick up this. Wait, there was just ectoplasm on the ground. We're not some horrible amalgam known as Chat Beake? No. You are definitely an amalgam known as Chat. Definitely. Right, the water. The water. Yeah. Okay, purification water, get. Boom. Salt. And then I'll just hold on to the soothing rune for a rainy day, I guess. This tentacle of the amalgam is going to play with the stream title. No! My title! I can't believe the mods are rebelling now. This is bullshit. Wait, no, that's to the docks. That's not helpful. There's a way to the merchant section from this part of the map, and there has to be. Yeah, here it is. That's what I thought. And just keep going up and right. And then we purify the slop trough, which is really yikes when you think about it. Really yikes. No. Alright. Ipso facto presto cleano. You sort through the collection of objects you've accrued. A silver tooth, a human bone, and a chewed boot. I got a tooth out of the trough? I'm not sure what happened in this horrible place, but I've got a suspicion that old beggar may have lost more than just his memories here. Did they take his kidney? I better go see him. He'll be missing his boot at the very least. I think the pig stole his kidney. You flush out the disgusting container, eventually getting to the root of the drainage problem. The silver tooth. Okay, this went in a weird order, but alright. That's odd. I doubt any of the pigs around here have much dental work done. Right. Whoa! I better go... Okay, that was an interesting bug, I guess. Nothing game-breaking, but it... kind of weird. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Mr. Beggar, do you have both your kidneys? Ah, you've returned! Did you have any luck finding my, what was it I lost again? You place the collected remains in front of the man. Do any of these look familiar to you? Oh, that's my favorite boot! I was wondering where that got off to, but what are these? The man runs his fingers over the bone and silver tooth with creeping realization crossing his face. His skin begins to take on an ephemeral pallor. Oh. Am I dead? It would certainly appear that way. Don't feel too bad. These sorts of things have a way of sneaking up on us. But I remember now. I was up at the hog farm, but I was too old, too weak to work. The sisters. They said I was useless. They threw me in the feed trough. And then, all those hungry pigs. Oh no. How could they do this to me? All my life I was starving. I had to beg for table scraps and they fed me to the pigs. I'm very sorry things ended this way. We ought to hold a feast to honor your life properly. A feast? I never had a feast. Where would we get the food? And who would come? Everyone I know is slaving away for those horrible sows. You cast a glance at the nearby communal cooking pit. I think I have a solution to both those problems. I'm the hero of the story. Don't you worry. I'll make sure you have a meal to remember. I'm the hero. This pit has seen its fair share of community cookouts. Though it isn't in the best shape, it will be enough for what you have in mind. Now then, what should be on the menu? You clap your hands together hungrily. I think pork would be the most appropriate. The hero! First, I have to fashion a proper container. A feast need not be flesh and blood if the spirit is hungry. Porcine effigy. Alright. I need a spooky doll? Oh, God. Okay. This is gonna be a bit. Okay, but we need this. Okay, well, we're gonna need the smelling salts. And we're gonna need to make smoke pellet. We need a little bit of everything, chat. A little bit of everything. Pulled pork barbecue? Oh, don't make me hungry. How good you, chat. How good you do this. Right. If we're lucky, we can find a spot with 2 skeeters. Do we have a spot with double skeeters? I see 1. I don't care about the lychee boy. Okay. You, come with me. Come with me, I wish to murder you. In a fashion that will let me get your bits. Oh yeah, there is still the troll that I keep forgetting about. And then I keep looking at him and I'm like, wow, yep, that's a troll. Hello, Mr. Skeeto. Come with me. Blah! Quick, get him! Get him while they're sleeping! Steal their schnozzes! Have I gotten everything? I think I've gotten all the snoots. Alright. And the snoot will let me do this, but also I need to do some snips. Snippy snip? Do we have any snips in easy reach? Okay, well, might as well get this while this is here. Ah, there we go. Okay. 1? Well, I think 1 is all we need. Nope, we actually need 2. I lied, chat! I lied. Okay, down here. Here we go. Snip. And snip. There we go. Excellent. Which will let us get a sewing kit! Which thankfully we only need the 1 of. But we need to go... Sounds like one of the boys is causing trouble downstairs. Alright. Oh, I just stole that... I stole that snail's home, and I didn't even mean to. Rip. Oh yeah, it said there was something in the fields for me to find, didn't it? I'll have to look into that. Alright. Get some grain. We might have snipped a couple of these grains. Just in case. There we go. Alright. That'll get us the Dreadful Doll. So yeah, Ectoplasm and Spooky Skull. Zoom. Is it just me or the crows like louder than all of the other local life? Alright. Hi. Alright. There you go. And then smelly salts. There you go. Alright. Haunted mannequin. One haunted mannequin get. One porcine effigy get. Porcine? Porcine? It's probably sign. Porcine. It's Leviosa. Leviosa. Meow. I pick up the cats and I carry them off into the distance. I tell them we're having a barbecue. They're invited. Alright. You set the tiny false creature amongst the ashes of the cooking pit. It wriggles and squeals with impotent hunger. Oh. Yikes. Now to fatten up this little piggy, I'll start with the smallest pig sister, but I'll need to collect something special to bind her spirit. Her switch. How am I going to... She's actively, like, beating people with that. How am I going to get that away from her? Can I put her to sleep? Can I make a sleep bomb? Small pig sister, where you at? I haven't really interacted with you at all. There you are. The youngest and smallest, though does not like either being pointed out. True. You can hear the runty swine squealing even before you see her. Holding her crop high, she busies herself admonishing a cluster of poor workers. I gotta feed you useless rumps to a meat grinder, you filthy mongrels. Do we pay you to work and to sleep? They recoil from their taskmaster's lashes. You don't pay us at all! Say there, you seem to have gotten an awful lot of use from that grotty old switch. What would you say to a trade? Well, a trade? I've had it whipper since I was a wee suckling. No way, no how am I giving up my precious little flog. Every pig has their price. The Lashmaster 2000! The Lashmaster 2000! I hate the Lashmaster 2000. One might say it even makes me irate. There we go. Oh, I need this for Pumpkin Jack. I'm gonna need a snap trap for a rat. And then I'm gonna need 2 stingers, which is gonna require a smoke pellet, which is going to require clay, which I can get here. Well, there we go. Clay get. Alright. And we resume our whirlwind adventure. I really wish that I could talk to the other pigs and see what I need for them, but here we are. Here we are, chat! Here we are. Okay. Those rats are next to a mimic. This is not helpful. There are ratties down here? No. No. Oh, yep. There's one. Okay. Snip. Snop. Yep, going up. There you go. Feckenberg, get out of here. Alright. When we go down to the field, we kill the Pumpkin Jack with the power of Snip Snap. And then they'll be like, oh my god! But it's fine, chat. Wouldn't worry about it. Probably. Theoretically. Pumpkin Jack! Behold! I really wish they dropped more than just the one bone. But what can you do? Probably gonna have to lure one Skeeto to the other one like I did last time. But then we can make a very cruel whip. Oh, whip. Alright. There's one. And over here's 2. Surprise! knows? Maybe the blood in the ichor will be useful. Making a rat of 3 tails instead of a cat of 9. Well, what can you do? Actually, Kyle, you'll find that it's called the Lashmaster 2000. I named it myself. It's to get the appropriate amount of hype so that we can mass produce them and sell them later. You mean you wanted to whip up some sales? Oh! Is that a Lashmaster 2000 with extra sticky barbs and a rawhide non-slip grip? The one and only. I thought you were doing such an excellent job keeping these poor, exploited souls under your hoof that you deserved a reward. She snatches the whip out of your hands with glee, tossing her old straw lash in the mud without a second glance. Not even saying thank you, she scampers off to test out her newly acquired motivational tool on unsuspecting farm workers. I'm the hero! The hero. So I'm probably going to need the cleaver and the club, right? From the respective pigs. That seems pretty on point. You feed the ratty straw whip into the mouth of the porcine effigy. Despite the thing not having any teeth, you distinctly hear the sound of crunching as it chews up its first meal. How did it crunch it? The effigy shudders and swells in size, becoming a healthy-sized piglet made of straw. 1 down, 2 to go. For this feast to go off without a hitch, I'll need to gather something important from that swinish middle sister. Yep, club. Yep. So it'll be club and cleaver then. Alright. So what? Surely this is just going to need like a really big stick, right? Oi, you want to give my little sister this souped-up whip, ain't you? Well, I do twice as much work as that stinking twerp. Your bitch does send me where these rog is, but if she gets an upgrade, then why shouldn't I? The Magnum Browbeater. The Magnum Browbeater. Excuse me, I dropped my monster condom for my Magnum dong. Alright, so we need to get some bones. That's easy enough. Bones, and then we need the spooky eye. Can I craft a spooky eye? No. The spooky eye needs doggo hair. Doggo hair requires me to make a soporific meat chunk. Alright. So this one's not that weird. And I can get both the bones and the dog hair from the graveyard. So where is that? Ow! Down we go, graveyard. A graveyard. Alright. Now it's time to just start, you know, doing crime. Chat, you ready to do some crime? There it is. We did crime. Doggo! Having a good nap, buddy. He's a good boy. Alright. Big stick. Wicked gemstone. Magnum Browbeater. Wait, have I picked up any metal in this game? Are they going to have me, like, alchematize some metal up? Because surely I'd have to replace the cleaver with, like, a giga cleaver. Surely. I don't think Maybe the paving stones? You picked up the nails? Oh, God! I don't want to think about melting down enough nails to make a cleaver. That's a yikes from me. The sow takes a few test swings with her new cudgel, making you duck for safety. Now that's more like it, shall be. Perfect balance. You won't be needing that cracked old stick anymore. I'll just take it off your hands. Sure, whatever. It's as good as firewood now. She ignores you and goes to looking for pine cones or small animals to take a swing at. Yikes. Luckily, she's slow and her eyes are bad. Well, she is wearing that weird, goofy hat. Boom, 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 boom. Oh no, I hope I don't need mimic toes. That was weird enough the one time I had to use them. Alright. You chop up the well-weathered cudgel into bite-sized pieces and offer them to the small effigy. It wastes no time gobbling up the bits of wood and crunching them to splinters. Bwah! Satisfied with its second meal of sticks, the simulated pig rumbles and once again grows in size. This ham is almost ready for dinner. It just needs one more helping of soul food. Something special from that Brutus butcher will be the last ingredient I need. Oh, Big Pig's whetstone. Okay. That almost definitely will use the paving stones. Also, it's a little weird that it's not the cleaver. But sure. Hi. You see the enormous swine hacking apart a haunch of meat with her cleaver. Its dull and chipped blade has clearly seen better days. Ah, I see. She sneezes heavily before wiping a glob of snot with the back of her hand. Brew again. What do you want now? As your dutiful employee, I've been taking it upon myself to improve your meat business. That whetstone of yours looks like it's not doing a great job of keeping your tools sharp. Probably harder to make her give up her chopper, probably. She raises an eyebrow at the worn slab of a grindstone sitting on the countertop. I suppose it might be time to replace the old girl. Just think of how much more brutal you could be with a brand new sharpener. The Magisharp XL. And the Lucky Straw. I need a gnome? Okay. And another turkey gizzard stone. Great. Because why not? Okay, well, the gizzard stone's going to require one of these, which I can thankfully do. Alright. And then the gnome thing's going to require a puzzle cube, which I can luckily do. Knock cube! And then 2 more rabbits will be this, which requires basic ingredients. Great! Good. I don't know if I can get those ingredients in the field. I'm fairly certain both wood and lineage is going to require well, something else. Out of the way, you bouncers! Oh, wait, no. There is quite a bit of this here. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna need, though. I need to make at least 3 traps. Unfortunately, I need 2 logs for every line. Hey, you fucking psycho. And then it shit itself to death. Are you a gnome? No. That's just clay, which is not helpful. Is there any... Okay, there is some wood. Unfortunately for me, it's with Jack. Jack, please. Jack, see... Okay, well, if I had to guess, over there is where I need to go for the next story thing. But I'm not worried about that right now. Okay, we do have gnome boys. Gnomie! There you go, I require your hat, Gnomie. There you go! It's okay, chat. I'm sure he's fine. Probably. Theoretically. Wait, who dis? Grain farmer. Grain paddock. Oh there, ma'am. Oh, you don't have any business that way. The mill's in a spot of trouble. The mill, you say? So I do. I was just about to drop off my weed in the night couple that worked there, but when I heard a ruckus, I thought there might be a better way here. What ruckus? Are they beset by bandits? Bart, I've been a man. Hawkeye, the land baron that owned most of the property around these parts. I saw him banging on the mill door with a greedy look in his eye. Trouble me. They better lay low when the storm blows over unless you want to end up penniless. I have little use for a coin, therefore nothing to lose. Perhaps I ought to see what the fuss is about. Alright, well. Also, no. Maybe later. Right now I'm looking for frickin' twigs. Brush. Random bitty bobs of bits and bobs. Well, might as well go to the forest then. So I'd be willing to bet that only wood to be found there would be the, around Pumpkin Jack, and fuck Pumpkin Jack. Fuck that guy. We got any? Okay, yeah. This will get us a couple of lathe caps as well, because friggin' hell, I swear we go through oodles of lathe caps. Alright. Right. 2, 3. Ba-ba-ba-ba. 1, 2, 3. Alright. Oh, I only needed 2. Whatever. Whatever! I'm gonna get this. Because you can never have too many campfire embers, apparently. Never enough, chat, never enough! Nope. Twig. Gimme. Give twig. Also, forest herbage. Alright. Up here. We need to find us 2 rabbits, and then I'll hold on to the 3rd for the inevitable other thing we need. Rabbit! Okay, there's a rabbit. Little rabbit, I require your assistance. Thank you. Where'd your toes go? There it is. Nope. There we go. Got it. Alright. Okay. Lucky straw. Into the magic shirt. Almost went back to my home. That would have been another bunch of loading screens we did not need. Give me your whetstone. I require it. The sow slowly grinds the blade of her cleaver across the new whetstone, sending flecks of rust flying. She plucks a hair from her own chin and tests the keenness of the edge by splitting it in half. Not bad at all. Go on, take this old stone and throw it in the trash bin. I take it. Thank. I'm going to throw it in the trash bin. I'd wiggle my eyebrows, except I have a cauldron on my head, so, you know. You toss the old brick into the effigy's ravenous maw, and it cracks it into dust within moments. Jesus Christ. With its final meal of bricks, the porcine simulacrum is no longer able to contain itself within the portrait. A rattling laugh chills your blood as the old man's spirit looks upon your work. What a proper beggar's feast this is! I thank you for the kind gesture, but I still don't see how this will bring justice to those wretched swine. Just you wait. I have to fire up the barbecue first. Yeah? Oh. Luckily for me, I made one of these earlier. Striking a spark into the spit, you set the tinder alight. You take a step back, watching the orange flames leap high into the air. The porcine effigy blackens as you tend to the fire and fuss over the coals. A succulent aroma begins to waft on the wind. Waft? Wafted? Woofed! The old man licks his translucent lips hungrily. Does he have a ghost tongue? I swear I can almost smell a delicious roast. Ah, if only it were real. Over the sound of crackling logs, you hear a crowd of footsteps come padding down the road towards the cooking pit. Over here! I knew I smelled something good. It's the others. My friends, you've come back. Aye! A ghost! No, wait, is that old man McGraw? Say it ain't so, old timer. When you never showed up for morning head count, we all feared the worst. It's true. I ended up as pig food. Can you believe that? I worried you would all face the same fate as me. However did you escape the hog farm? It was the strangest thing. The Swan sisters started complaining about the weather being too hot, even though it's pretty chilly if you ask me. All of a sudden they bolted out into the woods, squealing all the way, left the gate wide open and everything. Then we smelled something delightful in the breeze and couldn't resist. It's been so long since we've had anything other than pig slop. Gosh, that smells so good. Is it a barbecue? Where did you get all that food? Yeah. Where did we get all that food? In place of the brick, sticks, and straw, the porcine effigy has split into a mountain of delectable, sizzling meats. Ham! Sausage! Bacon! It all looks so delicious! What a wonder. Wrong voice. What a wonder! It truly is a feast, thank you! What did I tell you? Enjoy yourself for a little while longer, and be at peace. The starving crowd happily helps themselves to the feast, cheering, laughing, and praising the old ghost's name. You see something twinkle among the cooling coals of the cooking pit. Warm to the touch, you pick out a piece of greasy gristle from the soot. On closer inspection, it appears to be 3 separate chunks. One fat, one long, and one small. The souls of the pigs. Thou should be mine. Alright, well. We might as well do the stag next, because we've already partially started that. Where was the 4th supposed to be at? Was it swamp? It has to be the swamp. The troll's there. It's gotta be the swamp. Troll's the only thing that I haven't interacted with. Couldn't be the forest. Alright, okay, directly south. Easily done. Hey, I got a burst. Any luck finding those ice berries? Yeah. Oh, just look at the wonderful bounty you've gathered! He gladly takes the berries from you and places them in his pack, where they instantly melt because he didn't think about the heat. It was no problem at all. The stroll through the brisk air was quite refreshing. If only my brother cared as much for the beauty of this place. He's always been content staying amidst the nobles of his court. I should like to meet this brother of yours. He sounds like quite the ruler. Well, why didn't you say so? I'd be happy to invite you into the castle. The buck slips his arm out towards you in a gentlemanly fashion. You take it with your gnarled claws. That's also how I refer to my fingers. And nod. Let's be off, then, shall we? Blah! Printers ain't accepting peasant complaints. Scat, you old crow! How dare you speak to my guest with that tone? Apologies, sir. I didn't know she was your guest. Don't apologize to me. I'm not the one you disrespected. Right. I'm sorry, miss. What I meant to say was, welcome to the court of the magnificent and benevolent stag. Louder and with more pomp, please. I hereby welcome the Lady of the Swamp. Lady of the Swamp, to celebrate with us on this most auspicious day, the bequeathing of the kingdom to he whose antlers reach the hithermost clouds and shine with justice and... That will do just fine. Carry on guarding. Right. The buck turns to you and nods to his pack. I've got to prepare these berries for the ceremony and do some final pruning in the hedge maze. I'll meet you inside. Boy. In charge of keeping Court Noble safe from everybody else. Right. Alright. Well, there's snow here. So naturally, I dig it up. Because my job is never done. There's only a bird over there. Hello? There's a surprising number of people here, actually. Sitting upon a lofty throne, the prince looms over his court of nobles. Not too many tiny cakes, they can't outnumber the torch. And where is my useless brother with those berries? Everything must be perfect for my coronation. There goes Sam slink off to the garden, sir, no doubt shirking his royal duties once again. Great! I do ever so much for that little rascal, and he doesn't even bother to show me the respect I deserve. I should have exiled him long ago, if only he weren't my brother. If I turns to guard here, your grace, you will be shown to the door as soon as the ceremony is concluded, I assure you. My days of sharing the throne with that dandelion are almost over. It is best he live out his days on the mountain. Lord knows it's where he belongs. The stag's eyes narrow suspiciously at a cluster of nobles. Speaking of my brother, have you three taken care of the statue in the hedge maze? Yes, your majesty, just as you requested. Don't you worry yourself, my lord. The nobles exchange hurried whispers, but you can't hear them clearly. I wonder what all the fuss has to do with a measly statue. Something doesn't feel right. Perhaps I ought to take a look at it myself. So then I stole their goodies. Shoved them right in my backpack. How do you have a hedge maze in a mountain? Wouldn't it, like, wither? Oh, it's purple. That explains everything. Why didn't I think of, purple? Chad, did you expect purple? I bet you did. Chad's pretty smart about things. Statue? Okay, well. Don't mind me just taking care of some last minute pruning. This? I look with my eyeball. Newly crowned stag takes it in, king of the mountain. About to say evergreen, but then we got purple. Yep, you know. Classic purple. At the foot of the marble statue is a cracked and weather-beaten plaque. You wipe snow from the engraved slab and find that large chunks have been hewn away from it. Only a few words are still legible. Stag. Rightful heir and ruler. Revealed. The choice of words is quite convenient for our royal aspirant. I wonder what the rest of the story has to say about the matter. You pick a tuft of colorful fur caught on the statue's raised hoof. It looks to be from a very expensive piece of clothing. The nobles of this court seem to have nothing but time on their hands. Perhaps some of them know the secrets of this statue. 3 plaque pieces. Alright. Well. So then I picked up a rabbit, and I tied it to another rabbit, and I used them as nunchucks. And then I beat the shit out of the nobles. Oh no. Don't make me talk to all of them. Wow. Wow. Can I not? Are you truth serum? I am the good guy. Ah, fuck. Crow's foot. Alright. I can just barely get 3 unveiling powders because I'm willing to bet I'm gonna need 3 of these, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yum, 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 yum. Okay. Can I make... Yes. 1 more snap trap. At least I got enough mushrooms while I was out in the boot. Alright. Hello, Crow. Hello. Thank you so much for your noble sacrifice. Alrighty. Unfortunately, I am going to have to very slowly walk back. As one does. Quick, Granny, get on the moped. Burp, burp. Thankfully, I didn't have to talk to the guard again, and I could just walk right on in. Alright, time to start stabbing people, chat. You know, like not a serial killer would. Speak to me. A noblewoman snaps her fingers at you as you pass by. You there! Freshen up my wine! Nodding politely, you dip your syringe into her glass and squeeze out a good amount of purple liquid. She sips it with her nose high in the air. There's a broken plaque in the hedge maze. What do you know about it? The plaque? It's the last time I help out the stag, I'll tell you that much. He was whining about a prophecy or some such nonsense. Told me to get rid of a piece of that plaque for him. I tore my finest winter muff trying to get to grips with the damnable thing, so I left it under the big tree in the middle of the hedge maze. You snap your fingers and the noblewoman makes a disappointed frown. She pulls up her collar in a huff and rejoins the party as if nothing had happened. Well, alrighty then. You? Hello? She should have a broom. Well, slather a cracker with liver pate and drizzle some scintillating serum over the top. Soon enough, the nobleman licks his lips and indulges himself. What do you know about the statue in the hedge maze? The nobleman scratches his chin absent-mindedly. Oh, you mean the one the stag smashed up? I'm not really supposed to talk about it, but he told me to get rid of some chunk of marble. Terribly habit thing. Anyway, I just left it behind one of the wooden benches in the maze. Did he really expect me to lug it all the way out of the castle? You snap your fingers and the noble immediately goes back to snacking as if nothing had happened. You stick your syringe into a plump macaron and offer it up to the nearest nobleman on a silver platter. He pops it into his mouth without even looking at you. The broken plaque in the hedge maze. Would you ever know anything about it? The noble's eyes flutter and they speak as if conversing with themselves. Yikes. Can you believe the audacity of the stag he broke? He should have been the one disposing of the pieces. When I couldn't be bothered to do so menial labor, can you imagine? So anyways, I just tossed my piece into the southeast corner of the bale. Next time you should get some of the servants to do his dirty work. You snap your finger at the noble. They sneer at you for a moment before returning to their wine as if nothing had happened. They didn't even leave the hedge maze, chat. That's some real noble action going on. Didn't even bother leaving the maze. Just as described, a piece of the plaque seems to have been kicked under the bench and forgotten. Range mine now. Alright. Pull. Pull. There it is. Buried beneath a heaping of snow. Not just a heap. Heaping. You finally managed to find a hunk of stone. Mine. And then the tree at the center. Oh. Yeah, I guess this kind of counts. Probably. Wedged under the tree's forking roots lies a jagged piece of stone. That looks like the last piece of the plaque. I'll have to reassemble them at the stag statue if I want to make sense of this. Nah, I just figured I'd like hold them between my fingers and try to do a balancing act. You snap the broken chunks of marble back into place. Despite some marring on the surface, you can read the plaque quite clearly. The Buck and the Stag, a tale of two princes. Only one destined to be rightful the heir and ruler. That was worded weirdly. The king will be revealed by the touch of the truest crystal flower. Looks like the stag is trying to cut his dear brother out of his birthright. I wonder what the business is with the crystal flower. The buck knows his way around the garden. Perhaps he'll have some idea. Oh! Flicking his ears, the young gardener puts his pruning shears down at your approach. Hello again! Lovely day for a walk in the hedge maze. I don't know why I'm using this voice for him. Granted, you don't get lost. Say, would you happen to know anything about a crystal flower, would you? Crystal flowers? Why, they're very, very rare. It's that they only grow in a cave at the highest peak of the mountain. According to legend, the truth of one's heart is refracted in the facets of each frosted petal. Why, do you ask? No reason. I just thought one might make a nice gift for your brother's big day. Hey, you're right! That's a brilliant idea! What better gift from the court's gardener than a beautiful crystal flower? Oh, but the trek up the mountain is perilous. I don't know if I have what it takes. Nonsense. I was heading up that way anyways. You just stay close behind. Really? You'd help me? Well, all right. What are we waiting for, then? Meet me out by the slopes and we'll get underway. All right. Help him ascend the mountain. I can't wait for there to be, like, 3 trials and, everything needed to, complete the trials is in the far-flung reaches of the entire world. Also, frick walking. I'm escaping. It does mean, however, that I will need to make more of those. But I will cross that bridge when I have to come to it. It's fine. They use the snap seeds and the petals, which I'm fairly certain I can make at least 1 more of. Yeah. Northwood ho! Hello? Oh, the trappers. Far be it from me to assume the northmost mountain would actually be north. The greybeards call you. They call for the Dovahkiin. They were not expecting this old woman, but here you are. You see the buck hiding behind a bush, anxiously watching something up ahead. What's the matter? Did you get cold feet already? Shh! They'll hear you! Look! Through the pine boughs, you can make out figures moving across the snow. Is it snowmen? They're covered in warm pelts and carry sharp-looking spears. Oh no, not spears. The royal trappers! They keep my brother's court supplied with furs, but they've been out here for so long they'll hunt anything that moves. It would be a shame if those antlers of yours ended up as someone's trophy. Wait here and let me deal with them. All right, be careful. Right. Hello? Where they at? Wow, they're there. Mountain Trapper. Requires touch of cold. Yikes! The further you go, the colder it gets. Useful against trappers. Fuck. Well, I can make bottled despair at least. But what's metamorphosis require? A dryad heart! Alright. So we gotta go fuck up the dryad again because there's only the one and we can't stop leaving it alone. And then I think I need useful against frostlings and crystal newts. Yep. So I'm gonna need to make a second one of these, which requires... Wait, which? Just raw rope. Grumble, grumble. Hey, look at this. Thanks. I wish you dropped 2, but what can you do? What can you do? Except go back to the forest and scream. And just show up at a dryad's place and set it on fire again. For the 3rd time in as many days. What is the fast way to the dryad? I think it's still by sweeping under. The boy come in and he scream! Hello, screamy boy. Why you screaming? What? Why you screaming? Hi. Hi. I'm saying hello to you. Can I help you? Hi, Dryad. I'm sorry, Dryad. Alright. Oh. Hi. Mm-hmm. Yep. Already trying to antagonize my water. Dryad, but why though? Oh, I don't know why anything. Also, I think there's a bit of stream delay, and I'm not quite sure why. But as long as my voice isn't desynced, I'm not going to worry about it. Boy. Boy. What are you doing? You naughty, naughty child? Doesn't seem to be? Okay, that's good. Maybe it's just on my end then. That's fine. That's fine then. Can you look at chat for a second? Can you look at chat? No, I know you want to look at me. I know. Look at chat. Say hi to chat. No, come here. Whoop. Never mind. Let me just bash my camera. That's fine. There they are. It's chat. Okay. I guess I got all out of you that could be expected. Hang on, bud. Rubber. Is this just your... Are you trying to make this like a regular thing, huh? Around sometime between 7:30 and 8, you just show up to scream and demand affection? And step all over my mouse and keyboard because you hate me? Was that our new thing? And then you almost fall off the desk because you're so busy leaning into my hand? Yeah? Hey, over here. I'll pet you if you come over here. How about that? Yo. Yo, that's a good boy. Stay over there. Stay. That's my water. That's not for you. That's not for you. I'm gonna raspberry you. I'm gonna do it. Really? You're fine with raspberries now. Okay, chat. I guess this is happening. There he is. Leaning in closer to my water. So if I start doing weird shit in the game, you know why. Alright, where was I? I was making this, which required the thing of the metamorphosis, which I can make now. So we got the metamorphosis. So I just need the means to make another spook trap, which means I need that. You know, the old that. Let me get this because we're inevitably going to need another soporific potion magoo. Is there no... Oliver? Be careful where you're putting your chonk. I saw my mouse go wild there. I'm actually going to go back to the house because that's going to have the closest concentration of stuff to snip. To do the old snippy-doo with. See? Right there. There should be 3 of these. Yep. We only got one of them to do the double, though, which is unfortunate. Boy, it's still cold outside. Why are you shedding like this? Yeah, that's my nose. Mm-hmm. It's making me do the sniffles already. Alright, where... I need a snow lad. There's a snow lad. Come here, snow lad. You're not a snow lad. You're a meow boy. I know you think there's not much difference when I just speak out loud. Alright. I now have the power of cold. The power of cold! Oh my god, they're fucking dead. You glance at the buck hiding safely behind a tree on the far side of the camp. Making a raven's call, you signal for him to join you. The buck picks his way through the frozen trappers. Are they going to be okay? They might catch a case of the sniffles. Nothing a nice warm bowl of soup won't fix. Come along now, we're still a ways away from the mountain peak. I think I know a way up. I'll meet you up ahead. Come join me when you're ready. Right. It'd be a shame if I took their unguarded valuables. Yes. Yes. A right shame, that. Campbell's reference? Yeah. Goat. A shaggier cousin of the familiar goat? Goat. It's looking for something to climb on. Oh. Okay. Sure is lots of goat. Small geyser. Interesting. Before you stands a looming rock face. Unlike Oliver, whose face is never in camera. You do this on purpose, don't you? Hmm? Hmm? You feisty little fur baby. There you go. Before you stands a looming rock face. Not even the most determined climber could hope to scale it. I thought you said you knew a way up to the peak. Well, you see, this is the great geyser. When the air is cold enough, the water erupting from it freezes solid. I thought it might give us something to climb up. You look into the dry crater at the bottom of the sheer cliff. I don't see much erupting happening down there. It's been dormant for a few seasons now. I kind of hope we'd get lucky. I don't trust any luck that I don't make myself. You take a moment to ponder your situation and eye the small geysers nearby, frequently spewing steam up into the frosty air. I do. I suppose the other waterspouts all draw from the same underground source. I think you're right. They started popping up shortly after the great geyser fell silent. Then I wager if we plug them all up, we'll be able to make the big one blow its top again. Plug them? With what? You turn your attention to the bleeding mountain goats. Oh no. Digging for lichen nearby. Those frosty beasts look to be about the right diameter. Maybe I can coax some of them into position. Oh no. Oh no. They're gonna, like, get ass blasted. Goat perch. You have got to be fucking me. You can't. Surely. Oh my god, chat. I don't... Oh. Fuck! Okay. So I'm gonna need 2 things of milk. I'm out of clay! I'm dying, chat. I'm dying. Okay. Oh. Two things of milk. Thank you, cow. I'm sorry I've molested you for 3 days straight. And then we need dragonfly wings, which are going to require maybe 2 of these. Alright. Delightful. Alright. That's going to take care of the magic paste required. Unfortunately, I'm going to need 6 fireflies. And then I go live in town for a little bit. Because of course. Out of the way, little birdie. Out of the way. Oop. Alright. How many fireflies was that? I didn't even count. I'm bad. I'm bad and I'm not paying attention. Alright, fine. Fine, if you must be this way, then we shall fight in the forest. Have at thee. Alright. 3 shiny lures. Time to go just randomly dig up the town now. Now you may be asking, Beake, you handsome devil, why the fuck don't you just, interact with the other things that will inevitably take you through the town? I was going to say I wasn't going to worry about it, but then this happened. They nabbed me. What do they mean, too young for the tavern? I'm plenty big enough to go in there. Hello there, child. What are you so perplexed about? Child? I'm no child. I'm a fierce, full-muscle man. He puffs out his tiny chest proudly. For some reason, they didn't put it in the gray text. Oh, that must explain the little patches of fuzz on your chin there. His cheeks flush red in embarrassment as he tries to reassert his dominant facade. Sorry, stretching a little bit. Hey, it's rude to stare. Anyway, I just shaved. I knew I should have let my beard grow out more. That crotchety old barkeep says I look too young to go into the tavern. What business do you have in a dank place like that? A lad like you shouldn't be wasting his allowance on ale. I'm not wasting my... I don't get an allowance. I'm a brave hunter, or at least I will be as soon as I catch my first quarry. And what exactly are you hunting? Only the biggest, the baddest, the beastiest of them all. The wolf. Do you know how many houses he's blown down? Not to mention all of the missing maidens. Missing maidens, you say? Everyone knows that the treacherous dog has a sweet tooth for pretty damsels, and he lures them out into the dark wood so he can gobble them up. The town guard got too scared to help, so it's up to me to put a stop to his terror, and he's inside that tavern right now. The shame there's no miners allowed. Let me have a look at this feral fellow and see if he's as bad as you claim. Well, I guess I'll just post up here until he comes out. Then I'll give him a taste of my blunderbuss. Right. Oh! He's huge! Claws clutching and teeth glistening, the hulking embodiment of feral hunger. Red Hood. Looks to be made rather uncomfortable by the menace of the wolf. Alright. You find the wolf looming over a frightened-looking barmaid. Come on, Red! Why don't you join me for a midnight snack? I already told you I can't. I've got work to do. I'm sure your boss won't mind one by any means. Don't make me beg now. Please, I really have to get back to work. Ah, but you're just so delectable. A real feast for the eyes. You accidentally tread on the wolf's tail. Oh, excuse me, sir. He jumps with it and spins to face you angrily. Ow! Watch where you're stepping, you old hag. Terribly sorry. I couldn't tell you apart from the dirty rug on the floor. He bares his fangs at you menacingly. What did you say to me? While the wolf is distracted, the young maid slips away and disappears into the gloom of the tavern. Ah, now look what you've done. Where did she go? He shoves his way past to go prowling around the bar. The huntsman's tale rings true. I better find where that barmaid got to before she becomes dinner. Oh god, he's stomping. Oh lord, he's stomping. Barkeep, he'll be your friend as long as you're a good patron. Hey. We're gonna get you information if you have it on tap. What do you know about your patron, the wolf? I know enough to keep my mouth shut and my work. That one's trouble. You should steer clear if you know what's good for you. So you just turn a blind eye to his behavior? Hey, I'm just trying to make it through to the end of the night in one piece. Now you gonna order something or not? Right. Hey. Hey. Thanks for the water in the pot. Hey. You see the mead maid. Wolf has grabby hands, he really does. Poking out from behind a wooden barrel. Oh, it's just you. Thanks for helping me out back there. Oh, I was getting a little cramped. It's hard enough serving meat all day, but to have to deal with that slavering wolf too. He does seem like the relentless type. Are you all right? Just a bit rattled. I was ready to try smashing a tray over his snout if he got any closer, but I'm sure that would have landed me in hot water with the boss. The wolf's turning over every table and bar stool trying to sniff you out. Great. Guess I'll just hide back here and reorganize the storeroom or something. I admire his sense of self-preservation, but maybe there's a more permanent solution to this problem. I know a young huntsman looking to prove himself. Perhaps we can lure the wolf outside and deal with him there. Sure, but how? You can count me out as bait because I'm done being dog food. I doubt that Mutt can see very well at this digiplace. I might be able to fashion a convincing enough likeness to trick him. You eye a nearby coat rack. That ought to make a good starting place. Well, whatever you're gonna do, do it fast. I'm losing out on tips. Sold coat rack ought to serve as a solid frame. You won't need much to fool the wolf, but the enhancement will take a special touch. Key to my heart is sewing kit and a protective talisman. Fuck. Fuck! I gotta go burn the dryad again! Fucking fish. No fish head. Which is gonna require this. Which is gonna require scales. Which is gonna require crab trap. Which is gonna require fucking 2 of these. We are just having a right time of it, huh, chat? A sewing kit, which I can't do because I need a little bit of everything, and then I need smoke, which requires clay. I'm screaming. I'm screaming, chat. I know you can't hear it, but trust me, it's happening. Hi, goats. You being weird? I bet they're being weird. You give anything that I need? You had some reedy twine, so there's that, I guess. No. No stabby. No stabby. None of that. Kid probably needs a bigger gun. Well, you know. Algae and embalming salts. I don't need either of these. I don't need crabby, pincery doos. And then I got a fishy boy. Get in the crab trap, you weirdo. I was really kind of hoping that they would both get caught, but I guess I'd be hoping for just a little too much. Surprise! Alright. Okay. So we can now make the Oceanic Oil, so now we gotta go set a dryad on fire. Again. Because that thing just can't live in peace. If only it wasn't born to be a sentient tree. If only, chat. If only. Yep. Snip, snip. I do need to go in the well to get some clay, probably. I think I did need clay for one thing. Alright. Dried fruit, get. What did I didn't even think I looked at the protective talisman. Did I? God damn it. I'm gonna need another thing of milk! Good news is that I only need the milk. Because I only need the one protective talisman at the very least. Get in the hole! Oh, it's fine. Froggy. El Froggo. Okay. I was trying to think if I needed something else. Alright. So now we can make the smoke pellet. I'm gonna need another soporific potion. Which means a soporific morsel. I need the campfire ember, so I'm going to stop by Gaston's place. Hey, pottery dude. Good boy. Okay. hopefully that's all I need for now. But who knows? Who knows? Alright. I need more grave. Fuck, I thought it was... I had 5 of 3 needed. Gold, darn it! I say a gold, darn it, chat. Alright. You both over here? You are. Nice, I don't even have to get weird. Got that. Snip this. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Delightful. Out of the way, Schnell! Out of the way! Okay, need to get at least one more thing of milk. Minimum. But luckily we got this here jar. Hello. Alright. Make the magic paste. Scream obscenities at various things. Go on back on down here. Okay, I need 2 flowers. 1. Might as well dig this up because heaven knows if we'll need mandrake or anything. There's a grabby hand there, but grabby hands don't help. Grabby hands are actually the anti-help. What? Thought I pressed the trial button. Bummer. Alright, hear that? Alrighty then. Love potion. Key to my heart. Alright. Then we need sewing kit and a protective talisman. Protective talisman needs this, which we can do. Sewing kit. Delightful. Now we go back to just the regular town and we dig up anything that is on the ground. Maximum dig. Except for that spot because it's right next to the friggin' evil. Damn it. Look, I'll be right back to deal with you, Hunter, okay? I gotta, you know, look around and stuff. Just gotta look around and, you know, steal the floor. As one does. Because I need oh so many cobblestones. Don't do it. I'm soft and innocent. I will destroy you! Rend you. Tiles? Okay, well, at least I can get some embers here, I guess. Though you really think that they would have put this out by now. It's still kind of smoldering, which can't be good for anyone. There. Oh my god. You are the worst. Can you just not? Look, I just want the cobblestone. Let me have cobble. I love that the sheep are still rainbow. Yeah, they're just being cozy sheep. So we need 8 more cobble to do anything about that one. Wait. Excuse me. I need to actually pick up the floor from exactly where you are. And that guy's still stomping, which is fine. Got key to my heart. You tap the key and hear a lovely tone. This will... Sorry, I read that as willpower, but it's this will power the puppet's heart and give it a romantic allure. Alright. Sewing kit. You take stock of the bits and bobs needed for sewing together a convincing physique. There should be enough spare rags in the storeroom for ample stuffing. Alright. And the talisman. If this is to survive an attempt on the wolf, it will need all the magical assistance it can get. True. You place the last stitch against the mannequin's doll-like smile. Its plump head hangs against the coat rack, no livelier than a reed in the wind. Are you sure this will work? I know the wolf doesn't have the keenest eyes, but he's no fool either. You grin underneath your cauldron, I still can't believe I'm wearing a cauldron, and extend a gnarled finger toward the red hood hanging on the coat rack. It will work just fine, my dear. A hound relies on his sense of smell more than anything else. This spare cloak of yours will complete the illusion. You throw a hood over the puppet's form and utter a dark curse beneath your breath. A great tremor passes through the building, shaking its foundation and making the lights flicker. If it says ooh-woo, I'm out. An eerie light fills the room, illuminating the puppet's body. Its head cocks ever so slightly to hold you in an unsettling gaze. It's alive! I shove it up my ass. I had better deploy this puppet out of the wolf's sight. This back room should do fine. Then I'll simply walk it over to that salivating carnivore and strike up a conversation. Wrong. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Bounce, wiggle, bounce, wiggle, bounce, wiggle, 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 bounce. You guide the puppet on its invisible strings and bump it into the wolf. Well, 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 look who's come back. I knew you couldn't hide from me forever. You contort the puppet in a flirtatious twist and blow a kiss from the doll's stitched lips. What do you say you and me get out of this stinking tavern, eh? I'll take you up to my place, let you simmer in the, moonlight. You do your best to make the puppet flutter its eyelashes seductively, but the lids get stuck halfway. Thankfully, the wolf is paying too much attention to his hunger to notice. Don't be shy now. I'll show you the night of your life. It'll be a real treat. I promise. The wolf caresses the doll's burlap cheek with a clawed finger, grinning from ear to ear. The puppet returns his affection with vacant, button-eyed stare. I've just got to get a few things prepared. Meet me in my cabin in the Darkwood, just north of the swamp. It's a very dangerous road, so don't think about running off. But don't worry, I'll be watching you every step of the way. You know, to make sure you're safe. He licks his chops enthusiastically. Lashing his bushy tail back and forth, the wolf struts out of the tavern as if he had won 1,000 gold coins. You pilot the doll back to the storeroom, and it collapses into a bundle at your feet, ready for its next assignment. You did it! That wolf is finally out of my hair! Thank you so much! Maybe now I can finally get some work done around here. But I didn't hear a gunshot from our brave huntsman. I best go see if his ambush went awry. Take care, my dear, but don't let the dogs keep you down. He's fucking dead! You didn't do a damn thing, did you? The young hunter is practically shaking in his boots when you find him outside the tavern. I couldn't do it. I brought the wolf right to you and you chickened out. What kind of hunter are you? Did you see him? He's huge and hairy, and he gave one look at my little blunderbuss and howled with laughter. How am I even supposed to scratch that monster with this puny pop gun? Sounds like you need some better ammo. As I recall, wolves have a particularly distaste for silver. No. By Abraham's beard, you're right. What I need is a silver bullet. No. Not even remotely correct. Glitter bomb, which requires a pot. I can make a pot. Glitter bomb. Moonlight globe. What's this need? This needs... Well, luckily I got the fox fur, and we have plenty of money still, but I need a Horadric cube. Yes. A Horadric cube. And now I just need to make a bubbly pot, which requires another cinder. Really? At what point am I just declared a menace to the firefly population and not allowed to go near them anymore? You know? I feel like that's gotta be sometime soon. Surely. Scree. Oh, well, this is still here. Ah! You're not chasing me still. Why are you like this? Unfortunately, there's nothing here, because that would be too easy. We're not allowed easy, chat. No. No, no, no. Also, who would have thought a small garden trowel would be the MVP of the video game? Can't do it yet. Bollocks! To the forest. At least we pop out pretty close to one of them. Alright. $10. Alright. Now we need another... We're gonna need a snap trap. And then head north. Put that down here for now. Alright, let us go back into town because it should have reset all of the gatherables. All of the gatherables seem to repop pretty quick. Anyway. Yeah. Because even the Foggier's back. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna just pick this up and then leave. Bye. Is that... No. How... One more. Uno más. Alright. Now we are ready to go skip and hop to the north. It's in the north. We just place this down. We save the rabbit from murdering itself, and we place it down over here, whereupon I pick it up, and Oliver hears a very interesting sound and leaves me. I swear to God, if that rabbit comes over here, I'm going to scream. Okay. And why are they made of more morsels than feathers? There's bullshit. Alright. And that gets us one bullet. One bullet. However, now we go back to Stag. And thankfully the hunters are still doing their best snowman impression. So how do I do I just use it on them? Hi. Look at this. Chat, did I only need one of these? chat, I might scream if I only needed to make one of these. Oh my god. Not like this. Surely. Wait. Wait. Are you... Okay. Had a real concern there for a second. I am somewhat upset with myself now. With the plump bodies of braying goats clogging up the small geysers, the earth beneath your feet begins to grumble. The mountain goats' eyes go wide as pressure builds beneath them. They're getting a jumbo enema. With no other outlet, the steam rushes towards the only opening left. With a deafening boom, the long dormant geyser erupts, sending a giant spear of water high into the air. As the deluge reaches its apex, ice crystals begin to form in the midst. Mist, twinkling as they hang in the air. Bit by bit they begin to build on each other, forming larger and larger crystals until it forms a great column of ice, rising all the way upwards towards the mountain peak. Ha! I can't believe it worked! Last one to the top is a spotted fawn! Right. But I'm a grandmother! Hi, what's the problem? You stand at the mountain's peak, buffeted by wind and snow. Now then, where's this crystal cave you spoke of? I'm not sure. I think it should be just up ahead, but in this blizzard I can hardly see my own nose. The buck jumps behind you, pointing into the frigid fog. Wait! What is that? You squint into the galing winds, unable to see anything but white. Probably just another mountain goat. I wouldn't be so sure. When I was little, my brother told me stories of the snowkin who live up here. He said if I ever went up the mountain, the snowkin would blow a great blizzard down on me. He said they'd turn me around and give me false directions until I got lost and froze solid. Sounds to me like these snowkin might be some kind of guardian spirits. And if they're able to keep people away from something, then surely they'll know where that something is. I have a notion to find our way as they do, but it will take a considerable quantity of their essence. That sounds dangerous. I'll just stay put then. I know better than to wander blind in a snowstorm. Collect snowkin hearts. What? Which requires melting pot. Which requires feathers. Please tell me that I can get... Oh, there's snowkin hearts. There's no way I can just use the one, right? I'm dying. I'm screaming and I'm dying. And maybe I'm crying a little bit too. Imagine also being bad at this game to the point where you have to constantly create the healing items as well. God. Yeah. I didn't want the frog! Damn it. Nope. There we go. Even before the dryad needs to be set on fire again. Please let the dryad be. Dear game devs, did trees hurt you? What did this dryad do to deserve all this? Why is it only the one single dryad? Alright. I'm gonna go wild. Alright, there we go. Luckily I can make 2 more! Because there's no way it lets me get away with just the one. So now we need to make frickin' 6 snap traps? Alright. Alright. And now it's just the feathers. I have enough chilies. I have enough Bernies. Okay. We're gonna duck into town. We're gonna give the silver bullet, and we'll be right next to the teleporter as well. No, I don't. There. By Abraham's beard, you're right. This is perfect. The wolf won't know it hit him. I'll meet you at the Darkwood, and we'll put an end to his terror once and for all. With bullet and blunderbuss in hand, I don't think a blunderbuss with a single bullet's going to be a good time. The huntsman jogs off down the road towards the swamp. I sure hope he finds his bravery along the way, or it won't matter what sort of slugs he's slinging. True. True. Alright. Then we go to the north. And we become an absolute menace to the local cardinal wildlife. And hopefully the rabbits know to fuck off. But they don't, because they're rabbits. So, you know. Boop. 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 Bop. Beep. Boop. Oops. Whoopsie doodle day. Rabbit. 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 You little shit. Maybe it's one really fat bullet. In that case, I'd want to see that bullet because it sounds amazing. Alright. I wish I could sell these morsels so that I could get other items. Alright. 3 melting pots. Hi, goat. How you doing, goat? You doing good? Okay, up we go. Makes me think of the golden carrot from The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. Wimbo Jimbo Bibbidi Bumbo! And sure enough, I was right. It is going to require frickin' 3. Hello? Hello? Murderous Snowkin? Can I get you to reveal thyselves to me so that I can make with the questionable life choices? Pop. Thank you. Hello? Aha, there you are. Wabba-da-ba! Thank you. There you go. I assume I have to return to Buck now. Buck? Buck, did you move? Where you at? There you are. Hi, I have the things. You pile the mystical snow at the buck's feet and shield it from the howling winds. The flakes drift in the air like icy glitter. Oh, come on then, I'm getting chilly. You prod the snow drift with a muttered invocation. Despite the chaotic storm, the snow crystals swirl into an icy ribbon and slowly trace a line up the mountain peak. There it goes! That must be the way to the crystal cave! He takes off after the trail like a shot. You hike up your skirt and do your best to keep up in the dense snow. It is time. Nice. His face falls as you arrive at another sheer cliff. I don't understand. The snow stops here, but there isn't anything more than rocks. Did the snow can mislead us? Are we lost? I don't want to freeze solid. This is no dead end. Look! You gesture at the cliff where the eddies of swirling snow quickly gather. Within moments, the entire wall of rock is buried under fresh white powder. You reach out a clawed finger and touch the pure snow. It melts away to reveal a glittering opening in it. The crystal cave! You did it! Let's go in before we freeze to death. I'm certain the crystal flower must be inside. And inside is a giant golem that requires you to go to the 5 corners of this world, and then back home, and then you take a shit in the cauldron and mix 5 trillion ingredients together, and then they tell you, go gather more fireflies, nerd. I mean, what? Oh dear, look at all these flowers. I didn't think there'd be so many. I'm going to pick a whole bouquet. You stop the impetuous youth with a quick tug and mutter beneath your breath, hold on. The prophecy mentioned the one true crystal flower. These other flowers must be a deception meant to trap foolhardy would-be kings. Prophecy? What are you talking about? I only mean to say that we should find the best single flower for your brother's coronation. Good point. Quality over quantity. Aha! I think I see just the one right over there. Do you now? Are you sure? Are you positive? It's the one. It's perfect. Just look at the refraction of the petals and the frosting on the leaves. Oh, but I seem to have forgotten my pruning shears back at the castle. Would you do the honors? I won't. I don't want to damage it. Thank God! I have just the means! You snip the brittle stem of the flower, careful to not touch it directly. Prophecies can be nasty stuff to stick your fingers in. Which is the most literal use of prophecy I think I've ever seen. The buck holds the flower aloft, inhaling the blossom's magical aura. Apparently magical auras can be inhaled. Wow, smells just like powdered snow on fresh pine trees! I don't know that the snow would smell like much, but pine trees do have a nice smell to them. The moment is interrupted by the shrill cries of aristocrats clamoring against each other. I found them over here, my lord! Hi. Hello. In a rush of colorful fabrics and fancy hats, you find yourself surrounded by nobles. The stag steps out from their midst, looking irate. You guys are awful far flung for people that hate any kind of work. After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me, brother. The young prince blinks in confusion. What are you doing here? Have I offended you somehow? Usurper! You thought you could slip off when I wasn't looking and steal the crown from me? You think I don't know about the prophecy of the crystal flower? Why does everyone keep talking about a prophecy? I picked this flower as a gift for you, brother! Fool! Only the king can choose the true crystal flower, and you are not the king! The stag reaches down at his feet and plucks the closest flower. See! Only I can... Yeah, that went about as well as you would expect. The stag never finishes the sentence, his defiant pose forever imprisoned inside solid ice. Oh, my brother, what have you done? You give the mystified buck a reassuring pat on his back as the nobles gather closer. The true king has been revealed indeed. King? You mean me? You are the prince after all, and I suppose that prophecy was pretty clear. Magical flowers are seldom wrong about this sort of thing. And if you tend to your kingdom with the same care you tend to your garden, you'll do just fine. The ring of nobles crowd around the buck. You know, I never much cared for the stag myself. I think a new ruler will shake things up a bit. You excuse yourself as they bow and praise the confused lad. Long live the king! Passing the frozen stag, your eye catches on something sticking out of the permafrost. You reach down and pick out a shard of translucent ice, careful not to cut yourself on the sharp edges. Despite the warmth of your palm, it does not melt. The soul of the stag. Diddly-day! I'm out. Peace. Time to go! Alright. Wolf. Wolf go bark. Travel to the dark wood. Very well. I shall travel to the dark wood. Don't nip me. Ah! Okay, I'm fine. Okay, troll, did you move? The troll's gone. He's not here to fart at me anymore. Excellent. This one's a little more detailed, as if whoever is building them is slowly getting better at it. Accrued simulacrum of a human form, branches lashed together with scraps. I see. I see. I see, I see, I see, I see, I see. The dark wood. I am here. In the dark wood. Hello. Hunter, it is dark. You find yourself looking down at the gaping mouth of a gun muzzle. Don't point that at me. Who's there? Show yourself. Don't you point that thing at me. Oh, yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. It's just so darn dark here. I can hardly see my own shadow. Why do you think they call it the dark wood? Keep your head on your shoulders, lad. We've got a big bad wolf to bring down. Right. I'm totally not afraid of a vicious 7-foot-tall killer who makes his home in a forest as black as night. You need to concentrate on the task at hand. We only have one silver bullet, and if the wolf catches even the smallest whiff of our plan, it's cuttings for us. No pressure. So what exactly is the plan? The wolf is waiting in his cabin. I'll sneak up and lure him to you with my puppet, just as I did at the tavern. Meanwhile, you'll find a good hiding spot and ready your gun. And this time I won't win. I've got the silver bullet. So, do you know which way to the wolf's cabin? I can't really make out a path or anything. Let me worry about that. You just get yourself ready. And remember, don't miss! Right. Crow. Owl. Something in this creature's eyes suggests it doesn't think much of you. Owl, you fucker. Woo! Woo! Alright. Well. Can I... Oh, I just have to find the path first. Fine. You squeeze through the gaps in the trees and duck under a claw-like branches, but you've somehow managed to end up right where you started. Bah! I'll never make heads or tails of these pathways. Perhaps I should ask someone with a bird's eye view. The keen-eyed owl inspects you from its roost. Well, hoo-hoo to you too. I wonder what it is you're trying to say. Avian lexicon. Right. You know, the avian lexicon. Is that another red fucking feather? Oh, God darn it! That makes me so mad I need like 500 fucking things. Oh, pigeon bake, a mimic's toe, blue feather. I fucking escape, and I go down into the plains because fuck everything. I need logs. I need twine. I need this pheasant to fuck off. I'm gonna scream. And then I'm gonna scree. And then I'm gonna make very loud noises that no one wants to hear. Give me this. Oh my god. You know what? I'm fucking here, so I'm gonna fucking get them anyway. You know, I don't actually remember this being here. Whack. Jack. Stop. Stop it. Stop being weird. Alright. Might as well go down to the mill. Yep. Give me some of these. Alright. many fucking traps do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4 traps, I believe, is the total amount. Because there's the pigeon beak, the 2 blue feathers, and then I think I needed 1 red feather. Yes. Yes, Oliver's back. Hello, Oliver. Yes, I see you. He is currently trying to shove his face in my mouth. That's not on, Mr. Oliver. That is, as they say, not on. Innocuous pile. By decree of the local bylaw, you must come out. Any who interfere with the eviction of this property will face full legal consequences for obstruction of justice. As the stately tycoon hammers on the mill door, a pair of shaking voices call out from the nearby window. Please, Master Hawk, we just need a little more time. You've had ample opportunity to renegotiate our contract at Civic Hall. This is no time for excuses. Now open this door at once. Ha! More miserable contracts. Drop the pretenses, Hawk. You're nothing more than a crook in fancy clothes. Excuse me, but this business does not concern you, madam. Take your snide remarks and be off. I'll determine what business earns my concern. Thank you very much. I'd like to hear the other side of the story for myself. Well, if they insist on remaining locked inside, then I shall depart. But if I do not receive my payment at the bank soon, even a locked door won't stand in my way. The Hawk steps smartly around you and off down the road back to the village, leaving a trail of dust in his wake. These poor millers are still too shaken up to come out. I'll have to get in round the back somehow. So anyway, I chopped up their fucking everything. Like the well-adjusted man that I... Oh. Oliver, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Huh? You being weird? Hi, I snuck in the back. How did you get in here? The Hawk said we don't have anything left to give, I swear. Relax, I'm no thug. It seems like you two are caught between a rock and a bureaucrat. Just how did you get into such a pickle? This boy. This boy. Fat. Chonk. Fat chonk. What's to tell? The Hawk is our landlord, and we work this mill for him. We've always been on time with our payments, never missed them once. But that greedy tyrant has been steadily hiking up the cost. We've barely been able to feed ourselves and pay our dues. But we always manage to scrape by. Hi. Hello. Oh my goodness. Dork. Then this last month, he raised the rent again, and what's worse, someone broke in during the night and cracked our millstone. If we can't grind flour, we'll never be able to get the money. Oliver, you're a shyster. Look at this shyster. I have to keep, like, one hand on the camera at all times. Little lard bucket. And now he says if we can't pay, he'll evict us. Awfully suspicious that your millstone was damaged right as the rent increased. Almost like he wants to get rid of you. We've explained the situation to him, but that man only has eyes for gold. Not a kernel of kindness resides in his heart. Well, let me take a look at that grinder of yours. A broken mill isn't much good to anyone, regardless of who owns it. Really? You'd do that for us? If the millstone was repaired, we might be able to make enough flour before the deadline. I look. With my eyes. Inspect the millstone and run your fingers along the wide crack, which has rendered the device dysfunctional. Just as I thought. This appears to have been done on purpose. The heavy stone could be coaxed back together, but it will require strong bonding magic. Fuck. Alright. One thing. What was it? Restorative idol. Okay. We'll take that off the bar just in case. Restorative idol. Okay. Which is going to require 2 of these. Which is fine. I actually have the mandrake root. That's the good news. The bad news is fucking Jack. Jack. I just can't get away from frickin' Jack. Alright, what's in the box? This is useless to me. Do I gotta go out the back way? Yeah. I do, in fact, gotta go out the back way. By the way, thank you for the hydration! Oh. Oliver, are you okay? You're being a bit of a weird goofus. You know that? Are you being a weird goofus? Okay, I need 2 stones. There we go. Back to the forest. Man, I feel like I need a full-time camera guy for hanging out with Oliver. Quick, someone make a cat tracking system. Cat tracking AI is what I need. Alright. Please no squirrels. Thank God. Okay. Okay, 2 more of these. I need 1 more wood! Fuck! Also, I need to go into town to use it anyway. Pigeon! Pigeon! You can do it. I believe in you. I am. Imagine if I could sell the morsels. You get so many morsels in this game. Just so very many. Please be a log on the way back to the portal. Please. Pretty please. You know what? That does count. Okay. We go here. We skip northward. We get a red. We scream obscenities at every single rabbit we see. We go, it's not for you! That cardinal was very nice to us and landed directly on it. We go to the swamp. Build my castle in the swamp. Said it couldn't be done. Sank into the swamp, so I built another castle. And that castle also sank into the swamp. Well, that's when I threw a bunch of smoke bombs into the swamp. And they said, what are you going to do with all those smoke bombs? But the third one was made of butts. It's true, Chad. It's true. The third one was, in fact, made of humongous ass. Alright. Can I make this? What is missing from this? I need a toe. I forgot about the mimic toe. Which requires this, which requires a head. Which I have. Okay. Good. Very good, very good, very good. Wow. Alright. Mimic. Mimic-chan. Behold, Mimic-chan. Now give me your fucking toes. Alright. Toes acquired. Stuffed bird. Sorry, stuffed burb acquired. Avian lexicon, get. Beake now understands bird. We go back to the swamp. And then we go north in the swamp. And then, after we go north in the swamp, we didn't find our way through all of the awful. We scream again, because then we gotta do all the stuff that the hawk wants. Right, Oliver? Exactly. Hello. I now speak bird. You wave your linguistic scroll at the owl, magical quill at the ready. Well, speak up. The quill scribbles across the parchment of its own accord, translating the owl's hoots into something more understandable. Walk warily, naive neighbor. Exploration seldom escapes notice. What does that even mean? I thought owls were supposed to be wise. West, west, north, north, east, south, east, north. That must be the wolf's cabin up ahead. He's expecting Little Red to come knocking, so I'll need to use the puppet to lure him into the huntsman's ambush. Okay. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. You puppet the red-hooded doll to the door on the wolf's rickety cabin. An evil light glows from within, casting eerie shadows on the ground. You lift the puppet's head to peep through the window, spotting chewed bones and torn rags littering the floor, but no sign of the wolf. Suddenly, yellow eyes stab out of the shadows. There you are, my delectable little pork chop. I was beginning to think you had forgotten about me. Through the strings of the puppet, a chill runs down your spine as your animal instincts can't help but scream one thing. Run. Oops. Preferring to hunt under the cover of the darkness, the wolf pauses to snuff out a glimmering wisp. You need to use these wisps to your advantage if you hope to outrun the wolf. No! 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 Opens his jaws. Before you can snatch it up, you yank the invisible strings, pulling it out of its grasp back to your hiding spot. Drat! Yeah. They kind of told me that, just a little late, but, whatever. Okay. I'm going. I'm waddling. Is he getting faster? Stop getting faster! South. Flee! He's huge! And that means he's got huge guts! At your command, the puppet comes to a halt at the center of a moonlit clearing. The wolf bursts out of the shadows, gripped by ferocious rage. There's no place left to hide, little piggy. You're mine now. All mine! Baring his fangs, the wolf pounces into the air with tremendous force. The sound of the thunder roars loudly across the clearing. Crows scatter into the night air, and the dark wood falls silent. Blinking in disbelief, the wolf staggers to a stop. He glances down at his chest where crimson spot blossoms out over his vest. The huntsman reveals himself from the bushes, holding his smoking weapon anxiously. You shot me. The beast crashes to the ground, exhaling his final breath. His glassy eyes transfix on the full moon high above. Hesitantly, the huntsman boggles at the wolf before a triumphant grin crosses his face. I did it! I actually did it! I defeated the wolf! Don't forget you had some help, kid. This villain won't hunt any longer, and that's what really matters. As the huntsman strikes a courageous pose atop his trophy, something pearly white falls from the wolf's mouth. You pick up a glistening fang, broken by the wolf's fall. From deep inside the bloodied tooth, you can faintly hear the whimpering of a dog, the soul of the wolf. He's even humming to himself. Huntsman and the wolf, quarry felled and a hunter satisfied. Alright. And then finally, the hawk. Alright. Sewing kit. Because we need another one of these in order to make the idol for later. And the curative idol is all that we need now, which is going to require the Schnagush, which requires pumpkin jack. Because nothing's ever easy, chat. Nothing is ever easy. And sometimes you just press the start button instead of the select button. And it gets weird. Take me away, you're the music man. Glad they didn't force you to remake the puppet. I would have screamed. I would have absolutely just lost my everything. Oliver would have fled and like drop kicked me in the face on the way out because of how loud I would be. People would have broken down my door and asked if I was being physically assaulted, and I would say yes, my sensibilities were being assaulted. Alright, Pumpkin Jack. Come here, buddy. Hi! Eat ass. Seed ass. Yeah. Necrocharm! Alright. Restorative Idol. Boom. Okay. Now where is... Okay, I can just go back to the millstone at this point. Very well then. Very well then! Can I go in the front door this time, or is it still locked? Let's find out. Nice. They let me in. Very good. Okay. Restorative Idol. You place the idol atop the old millstone. Alright. The snag vine. Vines wind their way neatly into the crack of the millstone, beginning to seal it anew. Nice, nice, nice. And the cobble. The cobblestone... The cobblestones clunk down. It looks like dunk down. On the surface of the millstone. Alright. The ominous creaking... And ominous creaking... I can't read any more, chat. I'm dying. I'm dying. My eyeballs are going wiggly woggly. Creaking sound fills the mill as the grindstone begins to shift and warp. Then, with a bang like thunder, the crack on the stone snaps closed. The couple... Yeah, they're a couple, alright. Marvel at the millstone, running their hands over the smooth surface. It's been fixed! It's been fixed! The stone should be more durable than ever. I dare say it might even hold up to any future attempts of sabotage. Oh my, what a wonder! If it's all the same to you, we need to get our grain processed right away. The hawk has no patience when it comes to money. He'll already be at the bank putting through the paperwork. I'll have to talk some sense in that penny-pinching buzzard. If I go now, I'm sure to intercept him at his office. We go. It's almost at the 3-hour mark anyway. I mean, it is, but we're also right at the end of the video game. You know? You know. We can do it, chat. Just hold. Just hold. We only have to make like 1 or 2 more things. Maybe even 3 if things get weird with the goat. You don't want things to get weird with the goat, do ya? Hello? Bank teller. A bit on the stuffy side. You don't say. Bank guard. In place to keep folks away from their money. True. True. Hi. Nice office. You conniving knave. I know you sabotaged those poor millers' grindstone. So what if I did? The property value has gone up and they can't afford the rent. It's up to me to find someone else who can. Ha! People like you will never be satisfied. You always want more and more. Tell me, Master Hawk, what in this world would sate your hunger for gold? Simple. The rumpling would. The whatling? The rumpling! A precocious fey alchemist. They say he's in possession of an alchemist stone that can turn whatever it touches into gold. If the legends are to be believed, the one to catch the rumpling would be paid his weight in gold. Then why not put your mind to catching the rumpling instead of harassing your poor tenants? Oh, believe me, I've tried, but he's a crafty fellow. I've only ever gotten my hands on a single clue, and I've got that locked up tight in my vault. Seems like you're robbing the world of an opportunity just because you can't find this rumpling fellow. No one else can? You eye the nearby bank vault suspiciously. The single guard looks simple enough to bypass. I look at him. I look at him good. Weakness, glamour. We're gonna get fancy, chat. Is that actually another fucking toe? I'm mad. Which means I need bones and I need skull. And skull means I need this, which means I need this. Wham. Alright. And then the perfume, which is... where? In this wide list of MacGuffins? Okay, that's not nearly as bad. I am out of snip snaps, though, which is not great. And then, okay. Thankfully, I've gotten enough toads over the game for that to be fine. Alright. So I get the skull, I dig up some bones. I shake Chad awake. I pet the Oliver. Alright. Here? Yeah. Over there. I love the sweater dog. Sweater dog's great. These are notably not giving me bones, chat. Okay, 1 bone. 2 bone. 3 bone? There it is. Alright. Now we just go to the designated spook spot. Hello, spooky head. Follow me. Don't slap me. Don't slap my ass. Okay, skeleton key. There's a couple chests in regular town, but yeah. Okay, toe acquired. Glamour, get. This way. And then I show up, and then I'm like, guard, look, it's me, you. And the guard's like, you can't be me, I'm me. And I'm like, I'm you. in the mirror. And he's like, what? But I don't know what I look like in the mirror. While the guard is busy picking his fingernails, you quaff the fruity tasting elixir. Its masking effects tickle the tips of your toes with tingling sensation. While you don't feel any different on the inside, you know your outward appearance has changed when the guard glances up at you. Oh, hey Leonard, is it time for the shift change already? Yeah, I'm here to relieve you. You better go and get some shut-eye while you still can. You don't gotta tell me twice. I feel like I've been on my feet all day long. Don't worry, I'll keep this vault nice and secure. You can count on me. Yeah, sure. You just keep your back straight. Hawk's in a foul mood today for some reason. Ha ha! Foul! Guard stretches his shoulders and walks away, leaving you alone with the bank vault. You find the Hawk's treasure map framed with pride. It's little more than a tattered corner of a larger whole. No wonder the Hawk didn't get very far. This is barely a scrap. Squinting at the half-torn linework, you can make out the cartographer's description of giant dragon bones with a red X marking the spot. That carcass looks awfully familiar. I wonder if it's the same one rotting out in the swamp. I guess the Hawk never had much reason to go searching there. Not many real estate investment opportunities. Nope. And that's a fake chest. Swamp time. I think that's by where the actual dragon is. I think. Question mark? Wait, this is too far over. I'm in the wrong spot. I need to be where the dead be at. Where are the deaders? Here are the deaders. Dragon. X marks the spot. I'll have to get rid of these old bones. What? Acidic unguent? What? You gotta be truffle shuffling me. Never mind, we're fine. Somehow I had everything to make more acidic unguent. The beast's rock-like remains dissolve into a disgusting white goo, leaving behind a conspicuous hidey hole. You reach your hand into the hole and pull out a single copper coin encrusted with grime. I take the rusty coin. After scraping away the muck on the coin, you can barely make out a motto etched into the metal surface. To summon the alchemist to thee, at the Fey Ring you must pay the required fee. Fey Ring? I wonder if it's referring to that overgrown mushroom patch in the forest. Maybe? I guess? Now, surely the game devs wouldn't bamboozle me into going to the forest when they, in fact, mean the plains. Surely they wouldn't do that. Surely. They wouldn't do that. Alright. The map does, in fact, say to go here. Floral wreath. You gotta be kidding me. Dough. Glitter bomb. Can I make a glitter bomb? I can. Can I make dough? What's the dough need? I'm going to scream. Why would your floral wreath need a rainbow donut? Chat. Chat. Why? But why though? Why not just flowers? Why a rainbow donut? Why do I need a fancy Twinkie? I'm gargling. I'm screaming and I'm gargling. rainbow donut a king cake? Oh my god. Dough. Right, I need 2 snip snaps of the wibber-de-gibberty. Because I've used all my wibberty-gibberties. I hope there's wibberty-gibberties on the way or I'm going to be screaming. Just be glad you don't have to get it from the unicorn. Yeah, I guess. I don't see any wibberty-gibberties. Hello? Snip snaps? Paddywhacks? Give a dog a bone? Okay, here's one. Here two. Thank God. Alright. Rainbow roll. Floral. Scurry. Yeah. Eh. Yeah? Yeah? Flighty and elusive, not fond of confrontation. Yeah? What's this? This coin said it would summon the rumbling, not some flowery deer. You take a closer look at the discarded floral branch. Antler? Branchler? One of the growing buds looks larger than the rest, and it twitches when you poke it. Oh, hello there. Looks like this sprout needs some fresh fairy water. There is no water at this fairy circle, but surely there are others about. We better go plant this thirsty fellow and see what happens. Visit the fairy lake in the field. If I have to pay Rumpelstiltskin, I'm going to turn him into a kilt. I'm so close to the end that I can taste it, and they keep throwing in faff and taff. I can smell it, chat. Victory. Hello? There it is. This looks like just the place. I plant. You stick the budding branchler into the fertile soil. We're really sticking with branchler, huh? Into the fairy circle. The suspicious flower bud wiggles with glee, drinking up the magical pond water. After a few minutes, nothing else happens. Come on, come on. I don't have time to watch flowers grow. Maybe I can speed things along a bit. Fuck. A little pick-me-up should be all that's needed here. I'm screaming again. I'm crying. One frog. One frog, one milk. Damn it! I cry. And there's no frogs on this map, I'm fairly certain. There's a fence there. Milk. I don't even know where the fastest frog is. There's a higher concentration in the swamp, but I know there's at least the one ambient one at the other place. Oh god. Frog. How do I find thee? You're not a frog. Guess again. Frog? Still not a frog. I'm in the Taffig swamp. Do I need to dig up a frog? Is that how frogs work? Chad, how do frogs work? Explain to me how to frog. I heard a frog. There you are, you little shit. Come here. Be my friend. Be my friend! Okay. Magic. Oh, paste. Apothecary humors. Growth. Giggity. I keep getting... Where at? Eee! Eee! You drip the invigorating fertilizer on the stumpy branch and it shakes with energy. The ground trembles as roots rip out around your feet. Oh. Oh my god, it's me! Rumpling. Hard to pin down, but oh, what its fuzz must feel like. I love him! You find yourself looking up an odd little house that has grown out of the flower bud. An even odder little man sits on his porch glaring at you. Oh, will you just leave me be? I don't know how you managed to track me down, but please just go away. It is me. Hold on. You've led me on quite the merry goose chase. You are the Rumpling, are you not? He sighs and cleans a smudge off his spectacles. Congratulations, you caught me. The story is true, then. I've caught you, and now you must grant me my weight in gold. Curse that stupid legend. Look, I'm sorry you came all this way, but I don't do that stuff no more. I'm retired. These days, I'm more into woodworking. Wouldn't you rather have a cute little birdhouse instead? I know a magical contract when I hear one. I found you fair and square, so cough up the gold, shorty. Ah! Too bad. I threw my alchemist stone into a bottomless lake. Without the stone to make gold, I'm as poor as a pauper. Why would you do that? What do you think? Because villains like you kept on trying to shake me down for money. All that rotten stone ever did was bring me misery. Well, I'm not leaving empty-handed. You created the alchemist stone in the first place. You must know how to make another. He blinks at you with his magnified eyes. You want an alchemist stone of your own? Well, okay, it's your funeral, lady. I've still got the distilling equipment in my workshop. Just bring me the ingredients to make a new alchemist stone. I kick him into the lake. Well, chat. I think I'm going to leave you on this cliffhanger, and we'll finish this up for the, we'll finish this up on Wednesday. As well as start the next game, I think. Because this has probably got another hour in it. And my voice is dying, and I need to get me some food, and I got some people waiting on me to do another thing. So I'm sorry we didn't finish today. But I hope you enjoyed just the same. And we'll enjoy a mini-sode of this coming Wednesday. Because Tuesday I want to try doing as the new co-op thing while I have people available. So thanks for coming to hang out. And I hope you all have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye for now, friends. Bye-bye.